Hey YouTube, happy Wednesday. We are back with another episode of Terraining, where we provide VGC 18 content to you guys on the daily. We are going to be still with 123U45 or Josh Meekum this week, we're going to wrap up the next three games or three videos with him on the mic. Say hey, Josh.
Hey, what's up, guys?
We're going to be we're going to be using the same team that we've been using the past couple days. It is going to be Smeargle, Porygon-Z, Snorlax, Charizard, Amoonguss, Tapu Lele. I didn't really tell you guys a lot about the team, so I'll give you a brief rundown. The Smeargle's pretty standard. It's the Follow Me Wide Guard Spore, but our fourth move of choice is the Instruct. We felt it paired really well with the Porygon-Z and the Tapu Lele and the Charizard, just with able to get two Heat Waves potentially off in a turn, or two Thunderbolts, two Psychics, etc. We have a standard Porygon-Z, we have a standard Zardwai, but we have Heat Wave, Flamethrower, and Hidden Power Ground as our three moves. I know some people opt for the Solar Beam, but we felt that it wasn't needed with our Z conversion. We also have Snorlax, which is a standard Belly Drum set. We have our Tapu Lele, which is Choice Scarf with Psychic Moonblast, Dazzling Gleam, and Energy Ball to help us a little bit with the Mega Swampert Rain matchup. And we also have Amoonguss, which is a little bit interesting. We got to showcase it in the other games. It is going to be that Iron Ball, which is a little bit weird, but we had a rough matchup with Mega Camerupt and Stakataka teams, so that is why we decided to put that on as our item of choice, seeing that Berry and Payapa Berry and stuff, they didn't mesh as well with the team as the Iron Ball did. So with that being said, we are going to hop in our games. I decided to do one off the screen, so our rating is going to be a little bit lower. We should be still above 1600 though, as our rating is, it's actually 1598 with a rating of 15 and 9. So let's see if we can find so you said Sinnoh? I don't know if we have it. Oh, we're going to be Team Skull Boss. We're going to be playing Team on Fire, 1511, and their team's a little bit interesting.
Wow, Zangoose. Huh. It's an interesting team comp with Zangoose, Milotic, Charizard, presumably Charizard Y, Tapu Koko, Landorus, and Cresselia.
Okay, so his entire team, there's 5 things on his team that died to Porygon-Z after it's boosted. So I'm really liking Porygon-Z in this matchup. I think Smeargle Porygon-Z is probably one of our better leads. We have Tapu Lele. I don't know how much it necessarily does in the matchup, except have terrain control, which could be important.
He can do a good chunk to most of the things on his team with Psychic as well.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, I think we might just bring our fast mode in this game.
Yeah.
I think Smeargle Porygon-Z is a safe lead. If he leads Charizard, Landorus, then it's kind of a 50-50 on what he's going to do. Most of the time, they Heat Wave and Earthquake. So, but we'll see what our opponent leads. He's already locked in. I think Tapu Lele Charizard is our best in the back because we can deal a lot of damage with flamethrowers, etc. So that's going to be our 4 that we bring to the matchup. Good luck to our opponent. I really need to unlock the battle poses. Playing Timmanfaya. I don't know if that's how you say his name or not. We do lead the Smeargle Porygon-Z, which is pretty decent. He leads Charizard, Landorus. I think overall our best option is to Wide Guard Z conversion.
Worst case scenario, he's Groundium Landorus. I don't really see it on this team, just because he has 2 things he could be Scarf Earthquake next to and be immune, that and the Cresselia and the Charizard, so Scarf would make a lot of sense on this team just because of that. So I think Wide Guard is definitely safe. Worst case scenario, yeah, either Groundium or maybe a superpower onto the Porygon-Z, but
we could bring in Lele the next turn, which would be good as well.
Yeah.
Well, best case scenario is that he Earthquake Heat Waves.
Yes.
But I think you're right. I do think it is probably going to be that Choice Scarf or something of the sort. We'll see if the Landorus goes first as well. Well, it's actually, we just goes for the Overheat turn 1. That was a good play by our opponent. Well, he actually goes on the Smeargle.
Smeargle. Interesting.
And he Earthquakes.
Earthquake. I'm not entirely sure why he went for the Overheat in the Smeargle. Maybe he just thought, oh, it's going to follow me anyways, so I'll just target it, but I think that's going to cost him big here just because his Charizard now has a lot less offensive presence, and we get a full HP Z converted Porygon-Z, so puts us in a really good position here now.
Alright. If I'm my opponent, I probably switch out Charizard.
Correct.
So I think we kill the Landorus here and we spore the Charizard slot. He could switch into the Tapu Koko, but I don't know. Like that still wouldn't be like too bad for us because then we'd be boosted.
Yeah,
And we will pick up the KO on the
that
Landorus
is
unless it's something
correct.
like. And we will pick up the KO unless it's something like Focus Sash. So I think sporing the Charizard's pretty safe here, and Ice Beaming the Landorus is also not a bad play. You probably thought we were gonna follow me, which would be like, I might as well just hit the Smeargle anyway, but that definitely didn't work out very well for our opponent.
So the Charizard chooses to stay in attack, goes for Solar Beam, probably into Smeargle, just doesn't want to miss. But we have no problem leaving the Charizard here just because at -2, its damage output is severely hurt. What did he have in the back?
Tapu Zangoose,
Coco,
Cresselia, and I do not remember. I think we bring in Lele here though.
Yeah, Lele's safe. If he brings in a Coco, not a huge deal because Psychic Terrain helps our Lele, but Electric Terrain helps our Porygon a lot.
Okay. It's actually the Zangoose.
The only Zangoose set I've ever known is the Toxic Orb, so it gets the Toxic Boost. Its ability that is basically just Guts, but for Toxic.
I think we just.
That being said, I have no idea.
We probably just Psychic the Zangoose and we just Thunderbolt because his ground resist is gone.
Yeah.
Or his electric resist. So we just Thunderbolt the Charizard here and we Psychic the Zangoose. Zangoose does protect, which makes a lot of sense. And we will just pick up the KO onto this Charizard.
Interesting. Not really sure what our opponent's going for. I'm expecting to see the Toxic Orb proc here at the end of the turn, which it does. Toxic Boost doesn't boost speed, though, only attack, so the Zangoose should still be outsped by both our Porygon-Z and our Tapu Lele. He has Milotic in the back, so...
Milotic can't do anything to our Porygon. I think we can just safely double target the Zangoose here. Because Milotic can't,
we could Dragon Tail, but it shouldn't be able to beat the combination of what we have in the back. With Charizard, its Scald will be doing very little damage, so it's safe to just double into this Zangoose since it just protected.
And Melodic protects, actually, so this is a very good turn, because we're guaranteed to kill the Zangoose. It might not even live this Psychic, and it does not.
No, okay. So, our opponent making a very, I'd say a very poor turn one play. I'm a poor turn one play based on what happened. It seems like they were predicting the follow me, and just trying to cover all their options with one single target move and one spread move, but in targeting the Porygon-Z, or the Smeargle instead of the Porygon-Z, that almost cost them the game just turn one because of that.
I definitely agree with you. I don't think that was the most optimal play by our opponent, but we will take that win. We will be above 1600 again, and we will be going into our next match. Yeah, because if he just overheated our Porygon-Z, like, I don't know, we could have put. I mean, I think we would have had like an okay matchup anyway, because like Psychic kills a lot of the things on his team.
Mm-hmm.
But like, he was definitely in a really bad spot because of that.
I just got it. So all he did that turn was proc the Sash on Smeargle and give us a free Z conversion, and that's never what you want.
So we will pick up the first win of the day. We are going to be 16-10 with a win-loss of 16-9, and we'll do. I'm feeling like Maxie and Archie.
It's a good theme as well.
Actually, no, we're gonna do My Friend Hal.
Oh no. Please don't.
Yeah, version 1.
Don't do that.
My Friend Hal is the jam. All right.
Easily the worst song on this game.
Oh. All right. So it's taken a little while for us to find an opponent. We apologize for that wait. It was just he led very optimally. Like I thought he would, but the overheat, like I was like kind of like, oh man, I think we're in a bad spot now. But he just overheated our Smeargle. We do play Alenio, 1610 or 1603 or something from I don't remember what country. I think it was Italy,
I
maybe.
didn't catch it.
But it's a little standard team. It's Cress, Landorus, Charizard, Tapu Koko, Naganadel, and Snorlax. So this is kind of a scary team. I think Z conversion is really safe. Can play well, like I don't know if he has overheat and he overheats our thing again, it's not very good. But
Mm-hmm.
I think Z conversion is still like probably one of our better leads because it can if he leads something that's pretty passive, we can punish it. Um, Amoonguss could be okay. I don't know if we necessarily bring it to the matchup. I think Lele is pretty good to kill the Naganadel and the Tapu Koko and
Yeah.
the Psychic Terrain. I think Snorlax might be the best option in the back, just because like it can help.
Snorlax could be pretty good here, for sure.
It's also really good. It pairs well with the Smeargle, and also ours is kind of fast, so it should outspeed our opponent's Snorlax.
Yeah.
So I think those are the four that we bring to this matchup. Just our top four. And we will see what our.
This is definitely an interesting pair. Just their team, the way our team matches up with theirs is interesting just because they have a lot more scary fast mode because they have the potential Icy Wind on Cress, the Tailwind on Lagonadel, and this team is kind of weak to speed controls that makes their opponents faster just because we rely on the Porygon-Z +1 or just having super fast and sporing things, but it leads Naganadel Landorus.
I think we can. I think he probably just doubles up PZ here with, like. I think we can protect Spore here. I think that's a reasonable play.
I think that's definitely safe. He shouldn't Earthquake. If he does, then he's going to protect with Naganadel. Means we only take damage with the Smeargle. So, did you Spore into Landorus?
Yes.
Okay.
Naganadel just doesn't offer a lot of offensive pressure.
Yeah.
We do see the Naganadel. It is. Oh, Landorus is actually Scarf going for Rock Slide. Our Smeargle actually avoids, so this guarantees us to get a Spore off this turn.
Which is great. It means we're guaranteed to get our Z. If he Z Naganadel, he could kill our Porygon-Z here.
I think most of them carry. I bet it's Sash.
Yeah, that's the most common item.
But I bet it's the Sludge Bomb HP Ice. I think we can. Landers can't do anything this turn. Landers is locked in a Rock Slide. I think we can Spore the Naganadel and Z conversion.
Yeah, that's totally fine. As long as if we get Z here, we'll be in a bad position. But it's unlikely that he is Z, especially since he has a Koko. Most Koko now run the Electrium Z. Plus, even if he is Z, he might be afraid to do it because we have the potential Follow Me on Smeargle, but I guess we'll see.
Switches in Snorlax, actually. Interesting switch. We do see the Naganadel just go for the Sludge Bomb. It is going to be onto our Porygon-Z. Good call. Hopefully no poison, which there is not. So we do get a Spore onto the Naganadel now. We can kind of just Spore his team.
I expected Tapu Koko to come in there just to stop the Spore on the Naganadel, but since it's Snorlax, even in Tailwind, Snorlax is very slow. Our Smeargle should still outspeed it. And so this next coming up turn, we have a very safe play of just Ice Beaming the Naganadel and Sporing the Snorlax. Snorlax maybe not, but
all right.
Into that, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I do think we do Spore and we just Ice Beam. It could be Sash Naganadel, but as long as we stall at the tail end, I think we're in a very good spot. He actually withdraws Lax, most likely switching in that Landers again to prevent a Spore, but that's fine. Though Landers still has not taken a turn of sleep yet, so we're in a pretty good spot. We might be able to use our Instruct.
This coming up turn.
Yeah.
I'm assuming this is Sash.
Actually is not.
wasn't Life Orb and it wasn't Sash, so maybe it was the Z. Um, not sure, but that's something to keep in mind in the best of 3 situation. Is just now you know at least what that isn't, and so you know he won't ever have the option to Scarf Earthquake next to himself in any situation just because he would knock him out. It's Charizard.
All right, how many turns of Tailwind are left? Is there any?
I believe this is the last turn.
All right, so we just have a very safe play of just Protect Spore.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's anything that could go wrong with that. Because the Lander still has not taken a turn of sleep.
Worst case scenario? Oh, interesting. Worst case scenario is he Flamethrower and burned our Smeargle that turn, but Protect helps us a lot because this next turn we will be able to kill one of these two. We have Charizard and Snorlax in the back, correct?
Yes.
So it probably is safer to get rid of the Landorus. He probably just double attacks here. He really wants to get rid of this Porygon-Z.
Well, the Landorus just took its first turn of sleep.
Yeah, it comes down to if we think the Landorus isn't going to get a first turn wake, then we have a really safe Thunderbolt into this Charizard.
I think we could Wide Guard Thunderbolt, and that covers the most options because the Landorus, it's most likely if it's gonna. We also haven't revealed Wide Guard yet.
Yeah, that's true.
So we can, I think, Thunderbolting, and we'll still do decent damage to the Snorlax in the back. So he actually just stays in with Charizard. And next turn it offers up, if he doesn't wake up with Landorus this turn, then we just kind of just wrap it up. His Landorus could also just be Jolly Max Speed, which would be really annoying. But I think
interesting, but
yeah.
Yeah, Wide Guard's super safe here just because if he wakes up this turn, it's very likely that he's going for Earthquake. He could go for a single target, knock off or superpower, or even U-turn, but
Landorus does stay asleep. We should be able to just wrap up this game with Ice Beam Spore and then a couple of Thunderbolts. We'll pick it up.
Yep, and that should be the whole game. Not much to say here for what the opponent did. His biggest problem, honestly, was not bringing Coco, just because we were able to spore everything on his team. He didn't really have safe switch-ins ever. And so in a Game 3 situation, that's something, at least the way our opponent could adjust, something he could do better, because letting Smeargle just run wild like that let us easily win the game.
We are actually finishing our second match. We are only at around 18 minutes on the video, so we could potentially do one more. How are you feeling, Josh?
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
All right. So we'll be able to provide a third video for you guys today, hopefully going 3-0 in games. Yeah, like the last guy, we kind of just had Spore control the entire game. He wasn't able to do a lot of damage with, well, he didn't do anything to our Smeargle. Like, our Smeargle just got to sit there and just Spore stuff for free every turn.
Mm-hmm.
So if he was going to be, if we were going into a best of 3, he probably just brought he probably would bring Coco the next couple matches, but the problem with bringing Coco is that he gives us electric terrain boost. You're playing Sabina from Italy with a rating of 1533, and their team's a little bit interesting. Looks like a pledge team. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what Torterra does. I mean, in singles it runs Rock Polish, Swords Dance, or maybe just Rock Polish with the Z. But it's interesting. This is a QR team too. So someone made this and people liked it enough to try it. But I think it's cool. I think Pledge is probable. Just because why else would you use Torterra?
The Marowak's kind of scary here.
Marowak is a really hard stop to Porygon-Z, or at least Porygon-Z. And he also has the Feeny to pair with that, so we wouldn't be able to spore it as well.
I think we lead something like Smeargle Charizard. And then we can switch into Lele if we need to. I think Lax is really important in this matchup. I think if we can preserve Lax and get like Belly Drum up, I think that would be really good.
Yeah, we need a way to get rid of this Feeny when it's paired with the Marowak. So, I mean, Porygon-Z, while it's nice here for like Thunderbolt and Ice Beam, The Marowak's too threatening, so I think bringing Lele over it is definitely a good call here.
Smeargle Charizard also, just like if we could potentially get like a double Heat Wave off or something, that would be really good.
Yeah.
But like he most likely has Feeny. Team's kind of scary. Torterra is pretty scary.
I agree. I mean, it's not the most threatening thing here just because we do have the Charizard, but if he leaves Charizard Torterra, then we know it's coming.
It's Cresselia Hitmontop actually, which is
Okay.
pretty solid.
So he does have the option of a semi-trick with Marowak, Cress, and Hitmontop. He could be going for that here.
I think we Spore the Cresselia, prevent Trick.
Yes.
Then we switch into our Tapu Lele to prevent Fake Out.
Yeah, I think that's safe.
Because the Psychic Train, as you all know, blocks priority moves, so I think this is a safe play. It also gives us momentum for the next turn. Nothing on his team takes Psychic extremely well, except maybe the Feeny. So this also gives us follow-up for the next turn, and that's really good for us.
So I wouldn't be too surprised to see a Feeny switch in for Hitmontop here.
Yeah.
Just because if he did bring his slow mode, the 4 slowest bonds he had were these two, Marowak and Feeny. Especially if it's like a bulky Calm Mind Feeny would be really good on that. Just a semi-trick room mode.
I think our play here, we can switch in Lax, and we can safely Psychic the Hitmontop, because it's probably going to
still get the chip on, but
it also allows us to have Smeargle preserved for the late game, as we can, if we can remove the Hitmontop, we're in a phenomenal spot. We can also follow me potentially in their Trick Room mode. Be pretty good as well. Hitmontop does come out most likely into that Feeny. Yeah. But that's fine.
Yeah.
Each Psychic in return should be able to pick it up anyway.
Yep. A special defense drop would be nice. Make it so we wouldn't have to target down to Snorlax, but we'll see.
Oh, good call, Josh.
Yeah, predicted. All
right. So
I believe that special defense drop makes it so the Feeny will live the next Psychic, but it will proc its Berry. And we should be able to knock it out from there, I believe.
Yeah.
Just from what I can tell.
I think
this is a pretty safe Belly Drum.
Belly Drum Psychic is probably our play.
He's going to want to get Hitmontop back in here.
He leaves the Feeny in. Let's see if it will be enough for the knockout. It actually lives. But he does go for the Moon Blast.
This is Specs.
And that is Specs Feeny.
Yeah, that is Specs Feeny. He gets a special attack drop for...
Cress wakes up and goes for the skill swap. Interesting play, which makes actually a lot of sense. But this is... I don't think we're in a necessarily bad spot here, because we can just threaten the knockout onto the...
Yeah. We threaten a knockout on Feeny, a lot of damage on this Cresselia. Usually they live. So this is a fine situation. Next turn, I mean, presumably he's going to bring the Hitmontop back in after we kill this Feeny. And so we might want to consider switching out Snorlax then, but we'll see how the turn plays out first before we decide that.
And we do have
because we also want to get our Lele out. Yeah.
So even if we switched out and switched back in, we would just heal back up to full.
Proc it immediately. Yep.
The Feeny does stay in. It is going to be going to die. And now this Crest is going to be taking a lot of damage. Crest does go for the Ice Beam, potentially on, I would guess, the Snorlax. Okay.
Doesn't so it could freeze potentially because we have...
Or in the Misty Terrain. Oh, you're right.
Oh, we have Levitate.
Ooh.
Yeah, and he does live, and he gets his berry. So we have Charizard, Smeargle in the back, correct?
We have Charizard and Smeargle. Unless this is Assault Vest Hitmontop, he can't, like... I don't think he can take a Psychic.
He just goes for the... Well, we're at -1.
Oh, you're right.
So I assume he just goes for the close combat on Snorlax. And we really want to get both of these Mons out. So if we wanted a semi-safe play would be switch into Charizard for the Snorlax and Smeargle for the Lele. We'd likely lose our Sash, but we do want our Snorlax to get its ability back, and we want this Smeargle or we want our Lele to have its terrain as well and get rid of the special attack boost. So I think a double switch here is fine. If we lose Snorlax, we don't really have an amazing way to do it. Charizard does good damage, but we don't know what his last mon is.
And if he does something like Fake Out here, that's
even better for us. And if he does close combat into our even our Smeargle this turn, unless he's Assault Vest, he should just be in range of a Flamethrower than a Charizard.
He's going into the Smeargle here, and he close combat's most likely the Charizard.
For the Charizard, yep. So it does a good chunk of damage, but now we're in a better position. We unfortunately cannot Spore the Cresselia because it does have Gluttony instead of Levitate now. Flamethrower on the Hitmontop is quite safe, though. He doesn't have any amazing switch-ins, and since he's at -1, it should be able to kill. He could switch in Marowak or Charizard, but in the sun, that'll still do a good chunk to either of them.
Well, I think this is the play where we can use our Instruct combo, and we can Flamethrower the Hitmontop and just Instruct our Charizard. Most Hitmontop do not carry Protect, so this is a pretty safe play.
To stay in. If he's not Assault Vest, we should just pick up the KO on the Hitmontop and get a Flamethrower into the Crest relatively free.
And he does not, so we should just kill the Hitmontop here, which is amazing. He also didn't Wide Guard, which was interesting. And we are able to Instruct our Charizard here. Doing a very nice damage to the Cresselia as well, moving it into the red. And our Crest goes for Trick Room.
Actually sets up Trick Room. So, probable Marowak coming in here. It didn't look, I mean, he could have very slow Charizard, or even Torterra, I suppose. Neither of those would be too much of a problem. I know Torterra does get Rock Slide, so if he brings that in here, that's a potential threat. But
it is the Marowak.
It is the Marowak.
Alright, so the Cresselia has revealed Skill Swap Ice Beam, Trick Room, and he reveal a lot. He could have Moonlight, which would be annoying. I do think do we go for Heat Wave or do we just Flamethrower the Marowak? I think
if we get rid of the Crest,
Snorlax just wins.
We should be fine. Yeah, just because we won't be able to kill both our Mons since we have all 4 left. At the very worst, it's going to come down to 1v2. And our Snorlax can do decently against it. He does have an In the Sun Flare Blitz, which might knock out our Snorlax, but
smartly saving his HP, goes for the Bone Meringue.
Does pick up the KO, but that's fine.
I would assume that he most likely has. He just goes for Ice Beam, so that's fine. We should pick up the KO on that thing.
Yeah, no chance to freeze since we are in the sun. Luckily, he did not have Moonlight. If he did, I guess in the sun, he would have gotten a recovery back. But
and I think that we can bring in our Snorlax. I think here.
If we bring in Lele, Snorlax is fine. Just if we brought in Lele there, we could have used Flamethrower and Psychic into it, and he couldn't stop them both. But also fine too, because if he wants to knock out the Snorlax, he's going to have to Flare Blitz, and he'll do massive damage to himself in return. If he wants to kill our Charizard, then he's going to have to take a high horsepower with his Marowak.
Well, I think Hidden Power Ground should do more to the Marowak here.
Well, yeah.
So I think we Hidden Power Ground and we High Horsepower.
Let's see, that's 120. Yeah, I think. Does it do more?
Well, in the sun, with the stats.
90 times 2.25 becomes like 180 something, and then cut in half becomes 90. Yeah, so it should still be.
Our Snorlax actually just ends up living. So. Hidden Power Ground will pick up. Yeah.
Should just win.
Because I think with the stab boost, it's 135 with the stab, plus the sun is 197.5 or something, and then divided by 2, and then 120 is just standard HP ground. So I think HP ground ends up doing more.
Just a little bit, yep.
But we were able to pick up. I'm ashamed we didn't get to see that Torterra. That would have been really cool to see. They didn't bring either of his starters,
It's
so
too bad, but
it's unfortunate. But we do end up going 3-0 in games today. We had a great time. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys like what you saw, please be sure to leave your like on the video and subscribe to our channel. And be sure to share it. Of course, we want to be able to reach out and help other people with team building and with VGC content in general. We're fairly new to the YouTube game, so that'll be evident, but we'll be able to try to help you guys in every way that we can. Josh, do you have any comments?
just the guides coming out. Tyler wants them to come out later this week. I've been helping, but hopefully by the end of this week we should have them up. That's it.
Yeah, and so be sure to look for that. Be sure to check. We will try to share it on our Twitters, which are in the top right of your screen below. If you guys I hope you guys have a great day, and we'll see you guys next time. You guys have a nice one.